Good morning, everybody, and this is your Dow Jones day trade setups for today. So we have a bit of a rejection here, and that's off this trend line. And as I said yesterday, it's going to take something exceptional to get us to break through. We didn't get that. We didn't get any good news on the from the Feds. So basically, just more of the same. Not really bad news, just reaffirming that there's probably still going to be a few more interest rate hikes. So consensus at the moment with most investors and research houses is 5% is what the US is aiming for. So for us at the moment, we do have a crossover of the moving averages. So we do have potentially a setup for a long, but we do need to be buying off structure, and in my opinion, what it's worth, that is my zone that I need to be paying attention to. That is the area that would definitely be an opportunity to buy on the 8 hour if we had inside bars, pin bars, engulfing bars off that level. So let's just drill down through the time frames. 3 hour is still bullish, although we have broken through the latest trend line, but this trend line here is still intact, I think. Yep. So we're just flirting with that. Remember what I said yesterday. We have had the flag formed, and then we had another tighter flag, but it is possible that it breaks down and forms a channel, which often happens on this market, especially when they're in a bull trend. But we're in a bear trend at the moment, so whether that plays out or not, or we break this level, is another story. So short and sweet at the moment is quite simple. I don't want to be jumping in short here. There's nothing here that's indicating short. This is just a pullback. We've erased Friday's gains, and not sure why we rallied on Friday, but we basically erased those gains, and we're back in this zone. Now, if we look at the hour, and you can see the confusion here. The rates was announced, was as expected, and everybody rallied, and then the press conference came out and said, well, look, don't expect any good news in the short term, and then we fell. So even on the 1 hour, we've got a crossover here. So we don't want to be short down here. What we do want to be is looking for shorts in this area here. And I just want to highlight another thing. See the gap? Gaps always come back to be closed. It's a higher probability of gaps closing than not closing. So always keep that in the back of your mind. It's very rare that you see a breakaway gap. So at the moment, this is 32,511 or 32,500. That is the area that we need to be paying attention to. So what we'd be looking for is a retest of this area for another move down. Note where the 155 EMA is. Note where the trend line is. Note where you have this cluster of potential support here as well. So this is an interesting area. If we can find support here, if the bulls can find support here, then I wouldn't be too surprised to see us back up and test this level again, which is 32,829. We do have non-farm payrolls tomorrow, so don't be too surprised to see us just muck around until non-farm payrolls comes out. So the moral of the story at the moment is, the Feds have got one thing on mind, which is to keep raising interest rates, and the man in the street doesn't want that to happen. So you're going to start tightening up your spending. You're going to start looking at different ways of saving, and just start not spending money. And the more you're not spending money, that also start putting pressure on the Feds, and they need to release free capital, so they need to start reducing interest rates. So it's a little game that we're playing with everybody. So non-farm payrolls basically could be another catalyst which people are looking for to see, are more people getting employed? Are people getting second jobs? There's a whole lot of different scenarios that could play out. But that is kind of what we're waiting for now. So if we do reject this area, probably a continuation down because it is a bit doom and gloom at the moment, but I think this trend line and in this zone is going to hold us up. So I would be interested to see what happens here at 32,500. If we can get back there and we can get some decent price action there, I don't want big, massive bars like this. I want some structured bars. And I'm looking for a pin bar, inside bar, engulfing bar off this area, then definitely would look at that as a continuation down. Don't want to be jumping in short just in this area. We're on the trend line here. It's too risky. So that's kind of my view at the moment. It might actually turn out to be just wait and see until tomorrow for non-farm payrolls. But yeah, the first week of the month is always difficult when you've got so much noise coming from the feds. It just puts a lot of pressure on all segments of data. Lastly, just on the hour, note that we do have a crossover of the moving averages here. So my view at the moment is we're probably going to test this level, and if we do break through this level, you're heading for 31, 32, yeah, 3119, so 31,200 area is what you'd be looking for, and that's a zone to the downside. That's kind of my view at the moment. Okay, anyway, whatever you do, just keep your stops tight. Try and trade off the lower time frames. You do have some payroll data coming out today as well, which could impact you as well a little bit, but I think tomorrow is the big one. That's what the market will be waiting for. And you can see on the 5-minute charts we are in a downward trend. So nice thing about the 5-minute chart, if you've got time, you can break this range. You've got a 100-point stop loss and you have a 120-point gain to come and test this area here. Okay, anyway, that's kind of me for today. Probably a sit on hands day, but if I see something, I will let you know. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.